Hello everybody, welcome back to YR Gaming. So we continue our playthrough of Pentiment. In the last part we chose Hannah as the person who had murdered Otto, but unfortunately Peter, the rat, couldn't keep his promise to not involve Kiersau Abbey, and he set a fire on light. And unfortunately Andreas Maler, having sent Caspar away, perished in the fire trying to retrieve some of the books in the library. So now we've gone forward a few years to 1543, and we're playing as Klaus's daughter, Magdalena. Let's carry on. So whilst Dad was looking for me, I need to grab the mural plan from the workshop at the house and then head to the rat house. There should be sitting on his workbench near the printing press. Smell the roses. Agnes gathers chamomile here every year to perfect cures for her. Chamomile. That's the matriarch. Oh, said something else then. Chamomile is one of the flowers that blossomed over St. Satia's grave. Legend says it blooms all year long. Can't believe how quickly the leaves change this year. That dead flower looks like. Let's see some greenness in the year. Horehound is one of the few plants that grows all year round. Let's go into the meadow. You can see the abbey is still in ruins. The mill's not, however. The mill is working again. Golden hand in actually open. Doesn't look like it. It is. Hi. So Killian's still there. Nico Burger. That's the husband. Magdalene. Go check out the mill actually. Pentsusa, sweet. I don't know who this is though. Andreas, hello. Good day, Master Muller. What are you up to today? Drawing? Anything interesting? No secrets. Oh, I see. I'll leave it to. That is the same. Is that the same wife? No, Father Thomas. tell. It's Martin. Is that the Polish? Yeah. Obviously he's not a monk anymore. God bless you, Magdalena. And Matilda is obviously not a sister anymore, a nun. Brand new. Hello, Magdalena. Points the house. Better just check and see where my actual objective is. Trucker house. Andreas. Ressi. My bed there. I have a desk. Just by the printing press. My dad's bedroom there. The Rat House Mirror sketches, I think this is what my dad wants. I think these are all the plans. What is this part of the plans? Well, not colour, we don't have an ink like this here. At least I don't think we do. Or whatever, I'll bring it just in case. Right, I better get these over to the house. Town. Hey again, Max. Serious? I just told you not to call me that. And what are you doing now here? Do you have better things to do? This is out of yours. All my work's done. Like you've got a lot to do. Tinker, domestics, bookkeeping. Let's go for Tinker. I keep the press running for my dad and I work with Bolters on his inventions. There seems a little more important than standing around the commons in the middle of the day. Doesn't seem like something a girl should be involved with. Right, but no one did ask you. Barb's Madeleine is skilled at stinging, countering, otherwise deflating people in conversation. Flirt, likes to pay for deities and flirt with people. Haggle. Madeline is a strong negotiator whether it comes to finances or the matter of trade. Snoop. Go for haggle. You say that before and it doesn't make any sense. I bargain like a man. What does that even mean? Well, it sounds like. You're still mad at me because I've been regret giving me her last present on Friday. Let it go. Polyglot. Can't speak any foreign languages other than Italian, but she can read a little or almost all of them. Volksbücher, people's books. Madeleine is familiar with most common popular books of the day, sort of trivia, almanacs, common knowledge, and sacrological stories. Reformation. Let's go for Volksbücher. Calm down, I'm not showing you lecherous dogs or anything. Don't you read all sorts of books about saints? The lives and mirrors of the saints are fascinating. I know about Moritz and Satya. There have been hundreds of saints all over Christendom. Each one has their own story to tell. I barely remember half of Father Thomas's stories. I don't need to hear any more. Aren't you supposed to be at the rat house too? You're on the council. Sure, but it's pointless without your dad's plans. Let's go. Fine. I don't understand how we're still arguing about this. These mirrors should depict the truth, what we know is the truth. I don't think it's so simple, Klaus. You're afraid of angering our Lord Father Thomas? I think Tom needs the truth. It's not easily agreed upon. I don't know, I'm tired of arguing. I just want to look at it to look nice and show what happened. And thank you for bringing these. Many illustrations don't succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. It's alright, Madeleine. We don't need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what he's trying to do. I didn't realise he had upset him so much. Almost 2 hours. It's that pool there, I think it is. All they're good to send us, he has a budge. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? And you can speak to your father, help him see things from our point of view. Father Thomas, I don't even know what you're all arguing about. What is your point of view? Klaus has strong, very strong opinions on how the history of Tassing of Kiersau Abbey should be portrayed. And those portrayals may upset some of our neighbours. So that the concern isn't a real concern that it's going to upset the Lord. And everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorised on the wall. You assume that we all disagree with him. I don't think I do, not entirely. Look, you all know my dad. I never had the chance. I don't want to make the people in this town angry. I don't want to make our Lord angry. None of us do, but maybe there's a way to tell the story in a way that's true without upsetting anybody. It's all very complicated, you see, Madeleine. Trying to get him to consider a portrayal of our history that's a little less inflammatory. I don't think it's as complicated as you all think. I have come to agreement or pull off the mural entirely. I've been waiting to make this mural for years. You can't tell him no all of a sudden. And help us. Your father will listen to you. Fine, but only he can paint it, not on account of you're bickering like children. I'm going to go back home. This has taken up too much of my day already. These men don't know what they want. When I tell them what I'm trying to do, then they all talk all day. We've never any closer to a decision. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the whole thing. Can you just start working on it? If they don't like it, they'll have to figure it out for themselves. I could, but the first payment requires council's approval. Damn, I don't even care about them anymore. Maybe you're right. To hell with them. Didn't realise you were so upset about it. Well, we all hear of those stories about what this place was, how it came to be. It feels like history is something that happened before it happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something, you and I, everyone in Tassing. Everybody wants to forget about it and pretend it didn't happen. And you don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin and Rachel and Esther. So Esther's the girl that Rachel and Benjamin gave birth to, I guess. I was so afraid that I'd lose you, I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter, and Ulrich, and Andreas, and all of the others. And we lived. Everyone says it wouldn't have made any difference. If you and the others fought, you would have died, I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped him from going to the mill. Or maybe we would have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. Is that what this is about, this mural? The chance to put something down in a place where everyone can see. People start to forget this will remind them. You were here, this happened. If I don't do it, who will? Don't let it get to you. It's too late. But at least try and get a good night's rest. Maybe things will be better once everyone's slept on it. So, all the arguing has let me be. I'm going to bed early. Alright, I'm going to stay up a bit. I'm right allowed to rest here. Good. Please say hello to her from me and her parents. I know. Good night, Magdalena. I love you. I love you too. Some more exploring. There's Hans. Simon. Oh, I don't remember Simon. Getting a farm. Eddie. There's Juta, who I think is brand new as well. Already been that way. Going to the Gretna farm. Ill Peter. Still alive, Jesus Christ. Big George. Obviously Peter's dead. Good. Doric. Where's he? Good evening, Mr. Duckerin. Good Andreas. Evening, Magdalene. You can smell the anise on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Dad always brought anise cakes from Brett. Helps with my stomach when I was ill. Magdalene. So Paul and Elsa came back, yes, looks like. Trackers. North Town, I think this is where the right house is, yes. Doctor's house. Weisenkampf. Our Lady of the Labyrinth. Let's go in here. Mirimochi's a strange to see her with a maze like that. But her sister Amelia is still around. There's Father Thomas. Father Thomas, I really think we ought to take my granddad's advice. Told you the church foundations wouldn't repair eventually, and I think the floods last spring finally did it. I've looked at the stonework myself. I may not be as skilled as Lucky was, but even I can see the damage. The foundation's cracked. I'm not sure how much longer it can hold up. I understand that, Craft, but as I told Lucky, I cannot, in good conscience, have you exhume the bodies in the graveyard. Ah, bless you, Magdalene. There's something wrong with the church? Foundation's finally cracked. Grandad told me to keep an eye on the church's stone in case it ever happened, and now it has. Now, Craft. It's a matter of safety, Father. Once the foundations have cracked, it's only a matter of time before the church floor gives out or the walls shift. Sounds dangerous. It is. 1 or 2 good rains and the next Sunday will come in. Well, it won't be good, that's for sure. Is there anything else? Is there anything you can do? Yes, well, Father Thomas is about to step in the church graveyard. Disturbing holy ground is not a simple matter, Craft. Even if I were to move certain plots to ossuaries, it would take time. Certain rituals must be done to ensure the sanctification of the bodies. Can you fix the foundation on the other side of the church, Craft? Near Sister Amalia's cell. That could work. Would you give that your blessing, Father? I won't have to bother the sister, if that's what you're worried about. It does quell some of my fears, yes. I must insist your prayers do not break down the walls of Amalia's cell. It's a matter of maintaining her vows, you see. Alright, I'll take a look at the damage. See if I can repair the damage from that side. Thanks for your suggestion, Magda. I've been trying to convince Father Thomas for days now. Sometimes it takes a new set of eyes to solve a problem. Thank you for your assistance, Magdalena. Craft, I'll trust you'll let me know before you begin any work. Of course. Good, well, I must return to my duties. God bless you both. Snow is creeping down the mountains. Winter will be here soon. Yeah, it's all falling into despair. Even the old guest house is falling apart. Hand is back at least. But son of Mousefinger. Gertrude. Magdalene. Hello, Margaretta's Magdalene. Magdalene, God bless you. You don't normally come to the convent alone. What brings you here? Well, that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have visitors. I had some spare time. I thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. It's good to hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when you're outside. When outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Sometimes I miss the other Benedictine sisters, especially. She'd never admit it, but Sister Elizabeth had the most wonderful voice. I would sit next to her if I could. Why stay there, and why continue leave when the Benedictines left Kiersau? Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. Kiersau is my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convent's ins and outs was hard enough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. So Gertrude has always planned to stay too. Gardens always need tending, and 2 hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave Mousefinger behind. Yeah, of course, she truly is the queen of Kiersau. Has the convent changed much since the poor Clares arrived? Yes, the food is simpler, and some of the parts are different, but all the chairs and gardening is the same. Gertrude misses making for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Of course, sisters, apologies for interrupting. So the prioress is not going to be... It's going to be someone brand new. It's not going to be Illuminata. I presume we're not going to be able to get into the church anyway. No. Yep. The vines are growing over the entrance to the old abbot's house. So who's going to end up dead this time, right? Could be my father, I think. That's right. Right, where to begin? I should write to Esther. Dear Esther, hope you and your family are well. Dad sends regards to your parents like usual. The last few days collecting out gold with Sister Gertrude. I suppose you have the chance to do that in Prague. Gertrude has been teaching me how to grind them into a smooth ink. It's difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Oh, did I mention Dad started a new project? He's painting a mural in Tassing's history in our U-Rat house to memorialise the revolt. The whole thing has me thinking about my family history, past, present and future. Brendan's shop has been family for years. I look forward to taking it over. Of course, Dad will keep running it until we can't pull the levers anymore, but I'll take over sooner or later. If I inherit the shop, I won't have to get married either. Perhaps you won't believe how annoying Altz is. I think his mum is under the impression he's been courting me. Can you imagine? And yes, before you break the knob off your pen, I will come visit you in Prague, I promise. I try to make time to visit before winter. Life's been bustling here. Dad's been busy with the Rat House mural, so I've taken over the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Get back to me soon. All my love. Duh. So it's now 8 o'clock. One final look in the comments, I think. Say the same thing. Yep. Oh, Drucker is a printer. Yeah. Do I even just made that connection? Oh, dumb of me. To the forest. The waterfall is always so beautiful. The old salt mine, someone's mined Tassing for years. So we can't even look at that anymore. So it's had 2 innocents. Presumably with the Abbey gone now. All of this now belongs to us again. So I guess Peter won in the end. I'm sure we're going to see Caspard. Like I said, I'm surprised we're not playing as him. Let's go to bed. Leanne, I should get some rest soon. Go to sleep. On. Oh, Jesus. What happened? Are you right? You're bleeding. Someone came into the house. They hit me over the head. I could get that shoal. Try not to move, Dad. Madeleine is not safe. Whoever attacks me. I can carry you across town, Dad. I won't be long, I swear. Be careful. I will. I'll be right back, I promise. Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Klaus? No, maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them. I'm sure you didn't see a shadow and hit your head on the printing press. Come on, George, you should the workshop. Someone was looking for something. A burglar and Tassing? That's preposterous. Preposterous. Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? The bolt. Truthfully, Klaus, I'm surprised the road didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. Grave injury, Madeleine, you'll have to take care of your father. Obviously. Of course, the mirror will have to be called off now. Klaus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed. No, it has to be done. It's too important. Just give me some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work. I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can't we just wait? That's your health comes first. Anyway, we haven't been able to agree on what the mural should be. Indeed, it might be best to abandon the entire idea. But hard unless you are not on this council. Offering an opinion. I can paint the mural. I really want to help Dad, but aren't you too young for something this big? I will have to run the print shop by myself and don't respect to shade the books. Isn't that enough? Painting a mural this large and complicated will take a lot of skill and expertise. So that's why we're having your dad make it. He's been going forever. I grew up with lots of time, same girl, and you're better suited for that matter than not a mural. It's quite demanding. You'd be up on the scaffolding and could fall. You don't listen to me. I've already been doing this for years. I know what it takes. Dad knows what it takes. Do you? I can do it, Dad. If you don't trust Madeline to do more, to hell with a lot of you. Doesn't look like we have much of a choice. Very well. Alright, you can do it. But you can still talk to us about what you're doing, alright? Fine, but I have to take my dad's ideas into account. Well, we'll figure it out. Just a moment. Yes, what is it? Father Lucy's right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanour is misleading. What are you saying? Madeline knows danger to his damage to his brain. He may be even a few minutes left, but he's not going to survive. Can we take him to see a surgeon? No. He can't be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't move at all. And if we could, I don't think the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with trauma like that. So he's going to die. There's nothing I can do about it. We can make him comfortable and enjoy the time you have left. The time will run out. That's the library in Kiersau had his records. He was going to write to the last Paris to see if she had any information. I should write to her now that I'm thinking about it. Right, where to begin? Dad told me the last Paris at Kiersau knows something about the old history of Tassing. She became the abbess of a convent belonging to your mother, Illuminata. Yes, it's Saint Margarita. I should write to her. Go to the top one. We were acquainted. You bought many books from the library for the terrified consuming police. Writing because my father and I are creating a mural Tassing Rat House. We're going to tell the history of our community and of Kiersau as well. We only have legends and folklore since, of course, all the Kiersau books which stood in fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the Abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear it. We'd appreciate any help you could give and hope you are well. Rather whisper kindly of you, especially how you care for the library and its books. God bless you. You feeling? Can I get you anything? No, I'm fine. You go on. Right, I'll come back later and check on you. I can't go outside, so... Can I examine the printing press or anything? Let's go to sleep. Mr. Duckerin, I have a few letters here addressed to you. Take care now. Thank you, sir. Mother, no manager wrote back to me. I hope our response helps me paint the mural. It's just Duckerin. Thank you for your letter. I hope this reply finds you and your father in good health. Remember you both, as your father would carry you between the roads of our library in the final years. So remember your late mother and brother. God keep their souls. Well, we did have some books I discussed as in the past. I think they were mythological, as your neighbours, as well your neighbours believe. That said, I remember when the peasants, Tim Kreutzer, read about the history of the town. I know he died during the revolt. Perhaps his family knows some of what he learned. Just to say that it's not true that all of Kiersau books were destroyed by the fire. Andreas Maler managed to save some from the flames, God rest his soul. He now moved that troubled night, cataloguing and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. You must say the topic has stood a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was death at Kiersau, the murder of Baron Vogel. He had mentioned something about finding a copy of Historia Tassing, a comprehensive chronicle of your home. I had forgotten about it until now because the murder dominated all our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now because I recall that the late Father Matthias was also reading a copy of Historia Tassia before he died. He never accounted for either books or whereabouts. They have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps the prior friend took it from the Baron after the murder. Fenwick had an interest in books of all sorts, of course, but it seems like an odd thing to do in the moment. Then again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Others happily, the Baron's manservant believed they may have been stolen by the town thief Martin Brewer. If Martin is still alive, I would ask him if he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out Tassing. If the man has passed from the world, perhaps his family knows where the book wound up. As for the history of the Abbey, I fear that was also lost in the blaze. However, as sacrosanct, Prior Matthew learned a great deal about the subject. I have not kept in contact with him, but I know he is now Archdeacon of Sion. He's no longer a Benedictine and uses his family name for Gorny Sachs. If you write to him soon, your letters may reach before the snow goes Valois. Please convey my best wishes to your father. He was a good friend to the Abbey in his better years. By the violence accurate, I know ill will towards anyone from Tassing. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and that God forgives the many errors you made. God bless you as well. Mother Illuminata Abbess of Santa Margarita. My dear Magda, my parents were glad to hear from your father. Please tell them they wish him to do well soon, so we can print a new ink as well suit the deed. I made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wall. Elisa has taken to making his own ink from scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. Mother was first when he spent several minutes trying to find lapis at the market. She said him scrubbing the floors for it. It took him 3 days. I'm glad you're keeping busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says to have a room whenever you decide to make an appearance. If you do take over the shop in Tassing, you have to make visits to Progress Place. Who knows, maybe you'll meet someone here. I've made a good match too. Before the expulsion, there was a handsome man at the synagogue, Simon, who caught my eye. His father is a merchant and he's a doctor. He went to the University of Pudla. Can you believe it? I'd quite like to marry him if I can find him again. But I think you would have even better luck than me. The boys will soon have beautiful blonde arches from the Alps. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'll have to come and see it when it's finished. Blessings, Esther. Hey Dad, how are you feeling? Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. This is an instrument system of turn, so I'd rather not eat at the moment. Are you sure I can bring out something like milk or broth? No, I can't stomach anything just yet. But tell me, where are you off to? I'll have to get started in the first part of the mural today, the old history. Mother Illuminata didn't know much about Tussin's early history, but she did give me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Black Till if his grandfather told him any stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans. Mother Illuminata Margarita. Yes, right. Mother Illuminata. Young Kreutzer has mentioned those tales from time to time. He comes by to borrow books now and again. Usually when he's found some interesting old ruin out in the fields, you might ask him about that. Peter's always harrowed about how no one pays attention to the old ways anymore too. I'm sure I have some stories to tell you about old Tassing. You must stop to talk to him. Can hardly understand him in days, but it's worth asking. He's an old man. He'll enjoy the company either way. Alright, I'll talk to him if I have time. I talk to Smokey. And he's a known gossip. Okay. But the ruins of the mind, I can't just use books and stories alone to explore what's left over from the Romans before. Salt mine and Roman ruins are the oldest part of Tassing. Only makes sense to see what gets left behind. No tunes mess around, but I don't want you getting hurt. Don't know why George doesn't keep them in line, always being in trouble. I don't have brains enough to keep out of trouble. I do. I should hope so. You're the one running this shop now. Don't forget your other chores while you're running around town, alright? We still have a household to run. I'll get to them, Dad. Good. But get going. If I want to do all that today, I'll see you later, Dad. So let's talk to Kreutzer first. Which I think is the very next house. Hey Max, got your way with the mirror, huh? Just bet you're doing a visit cancel like that. You think that little of me? No, I'm impressed. The rest of the council has been arguing over the matter for so long, I couldn't get a word in. And you come in and shut them down in a few minutes. Could use more women like you in the town. There are plenty of opinionated in town want to let us join the council. Well, you'd have to talk to that with the Lord. Besides, I don't think any of them are as hard-headed as you. You're the exception, Magdalene. You always are. Really think so? Oh yeah, I wouldn't tell you that otherwise. You're an admirable woman. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great. I know I'm on the council, but sometimes it doesn't seem like I have any influence. You do though, you vouched for me to do the mirror in the first place. Only after your dad did. I still feel bad about that. I should have just stuck up for you. Being the youngest one in the council has been harder than I thought. I know Boltus and Werner don't think I'm capable. Even Paul has warned me of being too rash. Dad tried to make a difference. Keep pushing. They're stuck in the past, but you're looking towards the future. Take time, but maybe they'll listen to me eventually. Well, I get back to it. See you later. Till, do you have a moment? Of course, what do you need? Well, said you've been obsessed with your painting. Oz just jealous I spend more time with the mirror than I do with him. He is fond of you can't blame the boy. Anyway, what was it you wanted to know? I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mirror. Father Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Fertile fields, that is, seems like old potsherds and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Grandfather's reading came from the Abbey's library, though, and you know what happened there. Up in smoke. You don't have any of his old books? Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. They could do something better than books. Don't keep me in suspense. Didn't your dad ever teach you patience? I'm trying to build some anticipation here. Right, so we don't have any books on the old stuff. Pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards, strong pots and animals, bricks from mollusks. Like to be an old forge, mountains of salt. You found a little bear cart, remember. Did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things. Fabian too. And your farmer will tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields and dirt. Can't go one season without turning something up. Where are you keeping these things? Nowhere. They reach to some deposits and the rest of the rocks and wood clumps. Sure is interesting, but we can't do much of anything with the stuff as I'm looking at. What do you think it all means? What do you think they were like? I guess I never really thought about it. They seem like regular people. Their remains all look like ours. Tools and weapons are rougher, but not badly made. The little carved ceramic critters aren't so different from things either, made for arts. I suppose I expected them to be more strange, because they weren't Christians. No doubt they were coarse, but they don't seem especially violent. More like the church says. Not so different day, really. You mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassin was so important to the Romans in the first place, salt. I'd always wondered why they settled such a small alpine village. Do you think there's something left of the pagans down there? I don't know, but anything they left would have to be preserved better than we dig out in the fields. And tell me you aren't thinking of going down there. I'm definitely not thinking of going down there. Young lady, I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. I know a lie when I hear one. Mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there. It's worth it for the mirror. I want to try my best for my dad. Imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt. So we've got 6 against 3, so we're bull-headed just like your mother and your father. Probably couldn't keep you out of there if I tried. Please still. Alright. Don't know how to get down there myself, but I know those twins have gone in time or two. No doubt they have a trick. Balthus might not be the most reliable man, but I don't doubt he could rig something up for you too. I promise I'll be careful. I'm holding you to that, young lady. Bacon has been a big help. Round important freaks to know their past. You think this bacon stuff will make it to the mural? Bring some things the boys and I found over to our house tomorrow to help us all. That would be great. Be careful until tomorrow. Till then. Star. Let's go to the Gretna farm. Hey Peter, can I talk to you for a moment? Anyway, I was wondering if you'd tell me some of the stories about Tassing, the old tales. It's been so damn long since someone had the thought to ask me about what I know. There's still a few of the old tales knocking about in this skull. Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to Tassing? Do you know any Roman legends about Tassing? Roman legends? We don't bother with stories from outside to tell to gods out on our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. We spent generations after generation building Tassing back up from those days. Still our traditions keep dying with no one to carry them on. I'm asking about them right now. Well, I don't know shit about the Romans anyway. So can you tell me about the myths of Tassing? Plenty, the Romans weren't the first ones to live here, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in the woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before St. Moritz, even set a blessed foot in town. What sort of spirits? Sort that I'm getting at. Didn't your father teach your patient Magdalene? Percha and her wild hunters scared them evil ones away. They protected Tassing since our day. Long before these Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Rhoetus. Now folk weren't as kind as they are here now and tried to one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods who were too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favoured other tribes, and Rhoetus' people had no land to call their own. Instead, They wandered through the mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when winter was appearing, Ratus went hunting and found a wounded wolf trapped in a trap. But instead of killing the beast, as most men would have, he helped the beast and loosened it from its bounds. Was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Of course not. Wolves are wolves, girl. Spirits don't need the skins of animals for their power. Still, you've got the sense of the thing. The old gods are keen to repay favours done, and Pertia is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals, and she leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in the day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now and then anyone who remembers these things. Pertia saw Ratus' actions and took favour on him and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Ratus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in the valley ever since. Then those goddamn Romans came and destroyed everything, but you see, there were other gods protecting this place before St. Moritz. That's why a few of us still honour Pertia. She protects us against witches and fiends. It's a wonderful story, proof of the first part of the mural. Good, good. Nice to know I can still be of some use in this town. I've a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me. At least I want to listen to me. I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache. I'll leave you to your rest then. God bless you, Peter. So, thanks. Briefly, I bet that's something that could help me. Blacktail told me the farmers in Tassing. Bolters to perhaps this way. Central town. And it would have been North Town, I think. Yeah. Next to Schultz. Good day, Mr. Duckerin. What's house? Ja, Magdalene. Balthasar. Magdalene. Yes? Cinnamon just arrived for the bear. Cinnamon, doesn't that come from Ceylon, Sri Lanka? Yes, at great cost. Oh, never mind that. The copper pots you helped me pipe are part of the process. It's for the Christmas celebration. Already we're barely into November. The whale of time stops for no man. But it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cocoa from the New World. Jesus Christ. He who has the money can do anything. Probably. Of course not, it's your money. Anyway, I'm quite excited about it. Clearly. As alchemy is not normally my strong suit. But all of Canazia's complaints about the cost, the base drive we're using is free. The farmers had so much rye this year they couldn't use it all. Got made as much bread with it as she could, but she wound up having to throw a lot out. So why not make beer? I wish you the best of luck with it. Thank you. Do you know Tassing's salt mine? I need to find a way in. Any chance you could help me? Can still mine, yes. You must be in quite the adventure. Ideally, we're drawing up a double police system slower and race yourself into the shaft. But that might take a while. Well, I could go in today if possible. Of course. Would again have the rope suffice? You should brace yourself against the wall of the mine shaft. You strong enough to support your own weight? Against the wall? I think so. Excellent. Thank you, Boltus. Of course, here you go. Do be careful there. Make sure the ropes are secure. I will. Until later. So, Artemitas and Apollo. No. I saw Artemitas. Artemis down here. Quits there. Talk to them. Oh no, that's Sortilla, isn't it? Enduring, even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him. That's a good man. Tassing is a better place thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tassing who hasn't been on my back this whole time. What do you mean? Don't pretend like you haven't heard. Townsfolk have whispered shit about me for years. So what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm an honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Alto's Inn and I supported his cause. Pulled my way around here, tilled the soil, sold the meat, provided for briquette and craft. I've done enough backbreaking work for this family. I can't manage to have a damned rest. It's coming to his gross father. I believe you, Martin. You seem like you could use a respite. Lost enough time to this as it is. Time for you to go. I wanted to learn about it, and I was told you could help. Me? What would I know about history? I used to hold birth for that baron all those years ago. Mother Luminata told me you borrowed a book of local history from Baron Royfogel. Mother Luminata? Oh, you mean one of the old nuns in the convent? Sure. Book. I might have taken about them. That was a lifetime ago. I can't remember the book or what I did with it. Those years are a blur. Probably threw it away somewhere or left it at home. Wouldn't have been much for me to do with the book. I can't read. Too unique for me to have sold too. No one else I've touched and cared about its history anyway. Maybe I could ask Brigitte if she remembers anything about it. Sure, couldn't hurt. Decades ago, but she's the only one who remembers shit. Thanks for your help. keeping? Quite enough, given the circumstances. Are you getting enough rest? I know it's hard to manage the house alone, and you have the shop admiral to worry about too. I remember Clara wishing she had a distraction. You might see her helping you and your father through this difficult season. How was class, by the way? Any improvement? You're the one who's asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappeared by the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell ill. We cared for him best we could, but those few months before it passed were a tough time for everybody, and I believe God will pull your dad through whatever the doctor says we need him. God willing, you're right, I'm mad. It's mercy. God willing, amen. Your dad doesn't come through this. I truly don't know. Let's not dwell on what we can control. Dad's fate is in the Lord's hands, and if anyone in Tassing is beloved of him, it's your father. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who are happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? You must mean Altz. He's about as subtle as his father, rest of his soul. I wish I'd just gone to meet him properly, I mean. He made an impression, that's for certain. Well, it goes around. Town knew better than to moon after him, though they didn't stop some of us. He was Eva's from the start. As Altz appears to be yours. If nothing else ever comes of that, you know you're always welcome in my family. Perhaps a nice hard-working boy who's got a sharp mind. He could provide for a family. I'm not sure we're a good match. Not every marriage starts off on solid footing, but if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time. Believe me. You're not making the prospect sound very enticing. Marriage is our natural state. It's our homes that were closest to the Lord. The Lord made us from Abel's rib because he meant us to be part of men. You would be lonely to never know what that purpose of fullness. There's no life for someone like you. You're not the first person to tell me so. That is because your elders are wise. Trust in our love for you and in the Lord's purpose. In any case, I should get back to chores. Remember what I said. Remember what I said. Whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. Before I forget, I actually had a question about an old book. Why are you supposed to have stolen it from the baron who was killed years ago? Do you know what happened to it? No? If this doesn't get me in any trouble, but I still have it, hidden in a drawer. Or I left it behind when he ran off. Why'd you keep it? What was I supposed to do? The baron was killed soon after, and I was holding a stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it though. I don't read well. I could take it off your hands. No one would even know you kept it. I trust you to be good to your word, Magda. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it. To be frank, it reminds me of a difficult time. Stolen a book of a dead woman in our home. Perhaps it spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. Here you are. Please don't tell anyone I had this. Rita has been a big help. Thank you. Be well now. God bless. You too, Peter. Until later. So I don't actually know who these people are. But so they're in the Gretna farm, is that correct? So they'll be in the Gretna farm then. Oh yeah, of course, they were Big George's children, weren't they, boy? The engine room door, fine I guess. Andreas should take a look at them. I would have asked father, but well. Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust. Didn't realise you had such an interest. No, it's not my interest in particular. Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all home and tassing. What do you think of the idea, George? Well, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in tassing helps each other. As I see it, someone notices a house indescribable all pitching to fix it. Do anything else would be unchristian. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along. It makes me feel useful, you know. No, if I better get back to work, nice to chat with you. I can't actually see them. Where? In the woods, maybe? I don't appear to be in town. Maybe they're at the Golden Hand. Let's go to the mill. Nope. Look, what are you doing? Looking for frogs. Fatima says she saw one the other day. We're trying to collect a bunch. Frogs don't come out this time of year. How'd you know? Frogs come out with the rain. You get the rain in the spring. What do you need frogs for? So you snitch. You don't tell me, but I will snitch. I'm don't get you to help. You're up to whatever you're up to. Some yells, but that's about it. Still catching frogs. Damn, I'll keep his fat mouth shut. What do you want, Magdalena? I want to see what our forefathers and the Romans left behind. It's for the mural. I see our secret hideout for your mural. I want to see if there's anything left down there I could use as a reference. You're really into that whole White House project, aren't you? Why should I show you how to get in? Because we're friends. I told my mother when I cut my hair so I didn't have to wear braids 12 years ago. I still hold the grudge. Look, I'll show you how to get into the mine on one condition. Upon Apollo with me with our next plan. No telling, no snitching, no questions asked. Fine. Tell me what you're up to. Father Thomas has been droning on and on about the plagues of Egypt, right? But don't worry, collecting frogs to hide in the tabernacle. When Father Thomas opens on Sunday, frogs will go everywhere. Why in the world do you want to do that? Well, that tabernacle key, but needs to put it back before he notices. I think there was a Till Udo Spiegel story like this. Stole a silver box from a priest on confession and confessed to the priest that he stole a silver box. Told the priest he wanted to give him a box he stole. The priest said he couldn't accept stolen goods. So he stole a silver and was absolved by the man he stole it from. So you're going to steal a silver box from Father Thomas? No, wait. What do you want me to do exactly? I need you to replace the key on the altar in the church. Polonel would attract too much attention, but you're the town's goody-goody. I'm not that bad, am I? Well, not entirely. It's not your fault. I'll smooth over you. Council lets you get away with anything. Yeah, will you do it? I'll get you into the mine if you do it. Alright, give me the key. Perfect. Good luck, Madeleine. Then let me know when it's done. Okay, I've learned that to install the key to the church tabernacle in order to later fill it with frogs for Sunday Mass. Thomas asked me to return the key to the church before Thomas notices it's missing. I mean, I might as well talk to Smokey while I'm going this way, really. And he's back. Good day. I told you, Smokey. Call me Magdalene. I suppose. What brings you to my convent for more gossip? Only 18 gossip. I was wondering if you know anything about the old pagans and the mines. The mines? Are you interested in yours? I don't see the townsfolk trick out there as much anymore. I saw there were two twins making trouble. You know way in, but I'll be damn set. For close up, that's why you're interested. Tassia like Tassing, for in the town after pay God, a Roman one at that. I'm telling you the term, Madeleine, but I warn you, it's a bit baldy. I need something about the Romans to paint on the mural. Decent bits of what I remember, but I wouldn't have your father hounding me for any course moves. Alright, what's the story? Well, legend says that Mars was hunting in the woods and spied a fat boar for the taking. He just pulled back his spear when he heard a woman scream in terror. Of course, the creature ran off, and the god was angry at the loss of his quarry. So he tramped through the woods to see why a woman was in the forest and not in the local town. These were the old woods that lived in the wilds where spirits and ghosts prowled. I mean prowled? Prowled, you know, like spirits, the evil things do. Can't say they walked through the woods like you made it proud. Right, keep going. So Mars found a nymph, Tassia, bathing in the wood with a fat ugly satyr goading her from the shore. Enraged at seeing the trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the satyr. In return, well, Tassia bathed the god. Ah, I see. I did warn him, Madeline. While Mars left the pool, he jerked onto the ground and it blossomed with flowers and crops. I say that's why this valley is so fertile. Did you make that up, or how do I know that's a real legend? Tell me what makes a real legend, Stefan. I can tell you it's older than any other story I've ever heard. So much of what the Romans have planned to destroy over the years, but I like that we still have those tales. You can never really destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course the Romans have had a lot of behind scary towns. The towns in the Roman and Bavaria valley. Well, we are part of the Holy Roman Empire. Tassing is actually much smaller than it was, at least that's why I make it well. The ruins go deep into the forest and all the way to the old mine. Half Tassing is built on red stone. Take a walk down and start to notice some things. We use those stone to build. The old temple by Satyr's shrine is growing over, but the aqueduct runs for miles. Even the abbey used an old Roman fort. You can see some of the Roman paved stones on the road if you look hard. But it may not be Roman, but the town is. Tassing has been building upon itself for hundreds of years. What a beautiful idea. That's the way of things. Most people don't notice the old stones. Too busy in town to notice what's right in front of their eyes. Maybe we should take a look at the mine. I'll gather a sense of what things actually look like. Keep an eye out for any wolves or satyrs you might see down there. I'll let you know if I see anything around for help. Hey Max, how's your errand going? I did it. I left the key where Father Thomas would find it. Brilliant. Alright, as promised, Apollo and I will show you how to get into the mine. Come on, follow me. Are you sure you want to do this, Magdalene? There's some groupy things down there. Who knows how many people have died in those mines? Right, it's probably haunted. Back out now, while you still can. I'd like to honestly, but I really don't have much choice. Taking all the fun out of scaring you. But why do you have to make it all serious? Well, I guess we should tell her how to get down. It's not that bad, as long as you know where to put your foot. We do all the time. Come on, let's go. Come on with that, I don't want to get in trouble either. Top with their feet on the inner ledge, Magdalene, and look at the ledges that look like shelves. Move your hands down first, tight your skirt up a little so you don't get caught too. It's easier that way. Wait, the missing rung. Oh right, there's a missing rung near the bottom. Watch your step or you'll fall. I'm gonna have to do it. There's someone down here. I did it, I'm at the bottom. Good job, Madeline. Good at doing whatever you're going to do down there. If we don't die, Madeline. I might be joking. Oh well, time to have a look around. Lots of different coins down here. How odd. It's not like this Saints Well. Tablet, there's still writing on it. The poem. I think it's a love note. My greatest love, I have no other way than being with you. Rarely as King Solomon spoke. Von den Allerschönsten. From the most beautiful women. I'd try that shit down on my shelf too. I put up with better things in poetry. It's like a larger version of some Bolter's contraption. This winch might be attached to some sort of early pulley system. Now that I'm down here, I should see what I can find from the Roman era and before. Bones far too big to be human. That's what must have scared Apollo so much. Oh, a piece of pottery is beautiful. And another piece. In the wood here, Los. You were then the first part of the mine. Was this collapse recent? Another piece. There's an inscription here. It's like a Roman map of Tassing. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if we can map everything out. There's an aqueduct and the spring, the Abbey castrum. There's an old fort on the hill, and there's the rest of the town. Salt mine, that's the town there. Aqueduct and castle. Opium means town. Wait, what's this building? the Belnavium. No, this one they're on about. The shard. It's just like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a soul mine? It's even carved out of salt. Another inscription. I've seen the same kind of figurines too on the other farmers find in the fields. To think there are so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Clearly I missed something because oh yeah, there's a second thing down here I didn't realise. There's pottery scattered everywhere. I should probably find out if they're all from the same pot. Looks like that might be this like there maybe. This goes here. That goes there. I think that might be this one up here, potentially. And this one goes here. This one. Don't know if that one goes there. I don't think it does. It's there. That one goes there. Not quite. This one is here. Next one over, it's lying down. The Vicar's and Apollo, like they're telling a story. Must be Persia, and those must be the forest spirits part of the wild hunt. God, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Someone, maybe a chieftain, has sacrificed an man to Persia. The bomb might have the lid to continue the story. Like spirits, they must be coming to feast on the sacrifice. Make this and I'm holding it now. Maybe this is why I can paint the mural. It's part of our history, but I'm not sure that's the best story to portray. Do have to think more about it before I decide for certain. Right, better keep going before I run out of the lamp. More light I'm writing. Wonder if I can find out what that was. Put in the pottery shards. Path gather should run the stories. Testing. I think I've seen everything I can down here. Miles running out. Time to clean back up. Who's there? Hello? Someone there? Look out, the chef when a little comes crashing down. They look like old Peter to me. You. Yes? I'm Halabron, the Lord's gamekeeper. Why are you grazing pigs in the world, in the woods? No, it's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only person I've seen. The pig doesn't belong to you, what are you doing out here? I was in the salt mine. Doing what? I don't care, just tell me whose pig this is. It could belong to anyone. I don't know, the pig was in the woods when I came in here. It could belong to anyone. Ah, mysterious lost pig, who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. Yeah, I think so. If I find any more pigs in these woods, I'll kill them on the spot. I know you have all them here. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Mind your neighbours what happens when they break the laws. Those laws. Come to get out these words and work back in the front house. I don't know if I'll do a Persia one. Hey Max, tell us tomorrow coming along. What? Oh right, Magdalene, sorry. Anyway, Magdalene, how's it? The mirror going? Don't look like you much yet. No great work appears significant at the start. Do you think Michelangelo was born a great sculptor? I suppose not. So Michelangelo, what are you doing? When you finish priming the wall now, I've decided what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even when I could find out what the Romans and pagans are so obscure, I had to go into the old salt mines to find anything. I don't know what to paint for the first part of the mural, so what is it? I used the pottery and tools the farmers have found to show how we lived before the Romans. Smokey told me a story about the god Mars. I don't know if... I think this one here... That one out. So old Peter killed a wolf that led him to the spring. I think I'll go for the old Peter one, maybe. What we got here? Kind of sounds some story I heard about Saint Herbert, stabbed with a cross between his horns. I think so. Animals often lead people to good fortune in stories, even the stories of saints. So why would you choose this story anyway? Everyone knows about the spring in the woods. I guess that's true. We all know it, that it's old and it's always been there. Let's just tell the story about how we found it. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I wanted to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I figured this portion of the mirror out, I better start thinking about the next section. How do I go about reading that book? Right, sleep. Do I have to write first? Right, where to begin? Right, the old book. It was a Baron's before I installed it. Okay, so can't make much of it. I'm used to the book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting around the farmer's house for so long. Let's see, there's a section about various dedications erected in town. Temple to Mars, Blessed Field, Diana, makes any sense. Maybe someone better lad than me can help me read it. The book is so big though, it'll be a lot of work. Ask Sister Gertrude for help. Furniture is much better than anyone out in town. Even though Dad warned me to buy them in secular books, chances are some they would help, but it might be worth asking about. Just finish writing my letters first. Matthew knew some of the taking a sigh on now. Or to Esther too. Mr. Reverend Matthew, Archdeacon of Sion, Dr. I'm a daughter of Tassing's town printer Klaus. My father and I are creating a mirror for Tassing's rat house. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Lumina told me you might be the best person to ask about Kiersau's work. Heard you were the sacristan. I Kiersau knew a great deal about the abbey's early history. I understand you are a busy man. but we would be most appreciative of any information you can give us. If you know of any places where we might learn about the Abbey's history, we'd appreciate it. I know it may be of small comfort, but there are many in testing and regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Clares, and she speaks fondly of the old Abbey. Thank you for your help, Magdalena. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. Christ, I don't even know where to begin. The world seems to be crumbling. Even as my last letter was onward to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. So dizzy, he can't get bad. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Schultz said he's not going to recover and it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. Of course, our good doctor is incompetent and a known drunkard, but he's been of little additional help. Can I pray that between resting in my ministrations, that's a hard word to say, Dad can at least be comfortable. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note by him too. All I said was stop. It wasn't for the shop, but the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script, as far as I know. No, I don't have time to wonder about it. I have my hands full running the workshop, alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the entire council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. Suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. I'm worrying about Dad. Also has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints too. It's sweet, I'm glad for company makes days easier. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. Dr. Schultz is right. I don't know how long I'd have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love. Magda. I was only able to read a little bit of the Historia Tassia. The Latin is difficult and the book is in back edition. I was in a peasant shop for so long. What I can tell, could read. The book talks about various monuments that were made to the Roman gods. I was just around town, translating the lands, Sister Gertrude, Baltus, Dutch Schultz, and Father Thomas. Maybe you're able to read it for me. Now, I saw a nature map test and carved into the wall of the mine. There was a building on the map labelled Mysterium. I'm not sure what it means. Can't really figure out what it would be in our town anyway. I don't know if Gertrude's even going to be up at this time. saw Werner, so let's go and talk to him. Father Thomas doesn't want to be bothered by secular bugs. Maybe Gertrude doesn't want either. So maybe the doctor is the best bet. Magdalene, tell me something. Alright. Are you well? Don't patronise me, girl. Why was I cursed with a life in Tassing? Why does this pathetic little hamlet have to offer a man like me? Tell me, Magdalene. Don't know. Why is he you think you deserve? I was destined for the court of kings. Not a town full of peasants who churn out more of themselves than the rabbits in the meadow. Town where craftsmen learn to depend like myself, Baltos, even your father, have their minds wasted. In a few decades we'll all be dead and Tassing will forget us all. God doesn't care, never cared for me. So this is all when the Abbey was destroyed. If he even exists. You've had too many, Doctor, you don't know what you're saying. I've never been more clear-headed. Sound like Bolters, I see him rubbing off on you, maybe making you reasonable. I don't know what you want with this mural, it's beyond you. You should be at home looking after your father. Pickers, whatever provincial remedies you still hold to. Do something you're fit for. Doing what's right for the town. Do you ever know what's right? You're barely out of childhood, you don't know what this town has been through, and what this town needs. It needs people to champion its stories. There's nothing here to champion. You never find a husband of a hatchet of rules like that. Roll your eyes. Tide the moment someone talks back. Surprise, surprise. Determined to be an asshole, I'm gonna leave. I have a mirror to work on. Do what you meant. Well, Magdalene, don't ruin the mural. Not that it matters anyway. We're gonna skip ahead a few days again, I think. Yep. A few more letters for you. Take care. So, safe travels. First letter from Reverend Matthew. Mistress Decorin, I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Kiersau. So I remember your father as one of the townsfolk. Prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people testing their endeavours to catalogue the origins of the abbey they destroyed. However, it was a long time ago, and in the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I'll tell you what I can recall. Sometime after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Kiersau Abbey on the roads of a fortress. The abbey was founded by a noble woman of the Kiersau family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Kiersau changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were founded upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbours put any other records about the abbey to the torch. Let's burn the history of Kiersau. But we cannot change the past. I have found that Sisters of the Poor Clares have found a new chapter at the Abbey. I can only hope that their love of postic poverty has not driven them to improvise the shrine of St. Moritz. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Kiersau's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. It's hard to be overjoyed at the use of your neighbour's daily regrets. Many of the injuries afflicted 18 years ago will never heal. Greg cannot undo what's been done, but we can all find redemption from Christ. Let's pray for love and reconciliation in the days ahead. In the end, that is all that matters. Winter comes swiftly. Huguenots and Lutherans plague my homeland. Thank the Lord you still live in a land ruled by the one true church. I hope this has been some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. Most Reverend Martin Fossinkins, so Archdeacon of Sion. No, mentally no. I'm terribly sorry about your father. My parents and their deepest condolences. If we can provide you with anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than it's easy to travel, but I will see what we can do, what Hashem allows. Brother says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. The other night I was born, he remembers great strife in town. Perhaps there is some old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That's all he could suggest. Pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. You will exact justice in the culprit. I'm encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mirror at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete your job, especially once the contract has been reached. Give the men of council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age where all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. I'm glad you found some joy. Oh, how well here. Elisa has been craving yourself with cuttings. Father agreed to a year contract with the university. I found Simon. His family didn't move far away from after all. He's planning on working a doctor in the city once the opposition order ends. His parents have been meeting with mother and father quite often, so I hope that will be sending good news in the next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of their father's condition next letter. Be well, Esther. Good morning, Dad. Yeah, better your fever broke at dawn this morning. A little stronger. All things in time. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day and work on the next session of the mural today? Not so hungry right now, I'll be alright. A letter from the Archdeacon, yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? He didn't have much to say. He's still upset about the Abbey's destruction. He'd say the Abbey was founded by a noble woman. After the Romans left, everything else burned in the fire. The Archdeacon suggests Paul Clares might hold on to some records from the convent. I should be able to learn more about Tessing's tradition and history there. She didn't come out of the convent, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe from Thomas knows something too, and I should talk to him. The miller's wife. Oh, so I thought she moved here when she married. She never had any relatives in town anymore. Age unless marriage to the rest of her family. The cover used to live up or down the valley. Go talk to her. I will. We're going to just to take a look. Alright, wear a scarf. It's getting cold out there. I feel it in my bones. Don't worry, Dad, I'll see you tonight, alright? Okay, so let's go to the mill first, as it's right there. So let's talk to Elsa, who's in here. Elsa brings you up the hill. Dad was telling me your family's been in Tussings for hundreds of years. This for the mural? I'm not sure I want to get mixed up in that. I won't picture your family specifically, if that helps. One of the few people who knows anything about the town after the Romans left. The Mullers have been a pillar of Tessing for generations, yes. Though I'm afraid I know a bit about them. Much of that I heard from others, then hard to encourage about the past. I meant your family, the ones you were born to. Your family name was Cavazel, wasn't it? Not someone in the town has asked me about my family in years. I think it was beginning to think my neighbours had forgotten us. Not surprised your father remembers the Cavazels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I'm the last of us left now. Is that a local name? Doesn't sound like it. I should think so. Grandmother told me the Cavazels have lived in Tassing for hundreds of years. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to manage a time so long ago. Were they Romans? The Cavazels were part of the old people, the original Bavarian people. They helped to resettle Tassing after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. Doesn't that seem unlikely to you? Oh, who can say? Why does a story need to be true? However true it may or not be, doesn't matter, Magda. It matters that I believe it, that it connects me to my ancestors. But I think of the ancient Cavazels driven from their home, only to find it again and become Christians. They feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I think so. It was like when my dad tells me stories about quartered by Mum. Don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. Doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favourite songs to Ulrika, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's alright. Because I may not know exactly how the Cavazels resettled Cassing. What matters is that I feel close to her and them, even though they are so far from me now. That is what stories are for. Now go on, you've got mural to complete. You've given me much to consider. Meadow. Call her Martha. Still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. Alright, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalena. Dad, look who it is. Good morning, mistress. Tuck her in. Hello, Martha. Carl, how are you today? Our usual walk around town. November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Schultz says Dad needs to keep using leg, but the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old. You're not so old you can sit around at home telling stories. You're about the same age as my dad, aren't you? Alice has always been too stubborn to grow old. Shame what happened to him. As if you're not stubborn too. No room's for me. You're in a good mood today, I see. Plenty of reason to be. Tassie never ceases to be beautiful to me. Isn't the meadow a wondrous sight, even in this season? On days the Lord strengthens me, I like going a bit higher up the mountains. Used to admire the view with Anton from there. Anton, my poor boy. It's alright, Dad. I'm sorry, Carl. It's not your fault, Madalena, just a babe then. Can't. It's my fault that he died. But Dad, you know it's not. You shouldn't have been with me that night. You should have... I was a fool. I know what happened, I know it was there, but all I remember is the flames. What fire it was, the whole abbey engulfed. I was bleeding, Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Lanzknecht stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. How old were you during the role, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mum and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. He kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. Wait so much throughout, we couldn't get you to stop. Couldn't understand where Anton had gone. I tried to explain, but... enough of that. I'm so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I'm still there. The abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. We had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. If I'm any good, it's because of you. I'm sorry I asked you to live that all again. No, it needs to be told. We can't let people forget, not here, not ever, anywhere else. The abbey burned and people died. We have to remember, and our children have to remember, because when no one remembers any longer, then they will all truly be dead. So we continue to be all dead. Well. Gertrude. Hello, sister. I have a favour to ask of you. Of course, Madalena. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Tassia, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Madeleine. That's alright, sister. I'll have to find another way. There's one more thing if you don't mind. It's about the rat house mirror. No thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I want to ask you about the history of Kiersau, actually. I would like to include the abbey's founding and the history of Tassing States to the rat house mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew since he lived there, the abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The poor clerics don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in such a worldly concern. Well, that makes my job difficult. Let me finish, Madalena. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman considers joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter, observe the sisters. Who knows what else she might discover. while contemplating the holy life. Well, I suppose exploring all of my options can't hurt. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go and see Mother Francisca now? No, I've had things to do first. Very well. Come find me if you change your mind. God bless you. Let's go to Father Thomas first. Father Thomas, do you have a moment? Of course, what can I help you with? I want to ask you about tassing saints. I like to represent them in the rat house. I'm thrilled to hear it. The saints will make a wonderful centerpiece of the murals. Let's make a deal. I listen rapturously as you tell me about the saints, and you don't press me about putting them in the mural. Very well. But you know, there is one saint you're overlooking. Mary? Yes, well done, Madalena. Many people forget that Mary is the greatest saint. She visited one of the peasants here in Tussin centuries ago. Oh, is that where the painting came from, the apparition? Yes, exactly. I read about something similar happening in the mountains near Genoa, Mary appearing to a peasant. I believe it. The Blessed Virgin has appeared to many people all over Christendom. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the bishops of Freising that she had appeared. Freising. The peasant travelled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. And that's not a short trip. It certainly is not, but the peasant had received a holy vision. What else could one do in the face of divine revelation? Well, when you put it that way. The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. She told him to draw on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Freising. The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hand. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with the peasant, who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story, and he came here to Tassing. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. No idea where this came from. It's not a story I tell everybody. Most people here think of more or less in Satya, their connection to this place. Mary's such a core part of the prayers that they forget about our particular Mary. But in any case, Our Lady's demands were clear, so the bishop offered to fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. I think if I include the saints in the mural, Our Lady amongst them. I think that's the most excellent idea, Madalena. It will help reinforce Our Lady's presence in the minds of the faithful. A worthy addition to the story and the reputation of our people. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. You are most welcome, Madalena. God bless you and your work. God bless you, Father Thomas. Hello, Vara. Can you spare a moment? Yes, of course. I found this book, but I can't read the Latin very well. Could you translate it? The whole book? Oh dear. Can't avoid that much time away from my duties right now. The Christmas sermon is coming up, and I've already fallen behind on Advent preparations. Could the matter wait? Perhaps I'd be happy to look into it after the festivities. I suppose. Good, good. What else is there? Gave me the copy, Martin. She was nervous. Was able to read only from what I agreed. But to have money was ever I should ask it to Sister Gertrude. About his Dr. Schultz. Let's go to the Baltus. Which I think is in the north town. So better just go check on that doctor. It's out cold. Put him with your foot. You're supposed to come check on my dad today. I was trying to carry him. I have to tell someone. He's strong, he can do it. Ugh, what a mess. Not a million miles away and I'm going that way anyway. Dear Madeline, look. Ganezu? Ganazi? Don't know. The winter is approaching quickly now. What is it you say here? Pitched poking out your nose. Yes, that is the saying. What is it going to explain many of your funny Bavarian sayings to me? I must admit they are rather charming, even if the language is a bit rough to my tongue. Will you be staying in Tassing long enough to learn more of our funny sayings? Should return to Genoa soon, but Baltus and I still have business to conduct. It's taken longer than I anticipated to complete. His accounts are complex. I may be forced to remain a few more weeks. Dio, who knows? I pray that you'll be able to return home before winter sets in. When you wish to return journey before any heavy snow, otherwise my journey will take twice as long. Do you have a moment? Anyone, I'm afraid? What can I do? Came across a book about the history of Tassing and I was hoping you could help me read it. No, I'll stay. I'm far too busy for that at the moment. Never has really preparing the Christmas ale, you see. Of course, sorry to bother you, not at all. Apologies, I can be more help. Just to rush up, I wonder if you can do another lesson soon. What can I do for you? Did we? No, Baltus, this is a bad difficult matter. I found out Schultz passed out drunk in the commons, sleeping in a ditch. This is becoming an increasing problem, isn't it? I shall fetch, and he will carry him safely. Thanks for letting me know, Magdalene. So I can see it. Dr. Schultz is passed out, so there is literally nobody who can translate it for me. So I might as well go back up to the convent. I already went in there. It's like, I wonder if Amalia can do it, but... So as we open down the mountain, winter will be here soon. Yes, let's go. Mother Francesca, I'd like to introduce Magdalena Duckerin, Prince's daughter, yes. God bless you. Father Thomas told his father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about? Sister Gertrude, you know our holy rules. Well, why bring young Mistress Duckerin to me? Forgive me, Mother. Madeleine is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. I wonder that you've never come out to the Abbey before, Mr. Duckerin. If God is calling you to the convent, I'm more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. Put this change on. Why are you interested in joining the Poor Clares? I've been reading about the saints and feel called to learn more about their lives and their dedication to God. You can certainly devote yourself to the life of a saint. With us as a sister, their life of contemplation leads to fulfillment which no earthly reward can compare. Please come, I'm happy to tell you more of order. A small convent used to be part of the larger Kiersau Abbey monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the Poor Clares live far differently from the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not our to produce and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing as they still fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you? Not entirely. I like to explore and look around to get a feel for the place. But we have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. We won't have a laywoman bonuses or disturbing our rule. If I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties, please take your time. When you are finished, please come find me and we'll discuss your decision to join. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Red House. Where are we going first? The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the locarium, the chapter house, the yard, the old workshops. Though no one uses the old shed anymore. I'll leave you to decide where to go first. Sister Susanna will be accompanying me. I shall explore and see what I can learn of the history of this place. What else? Go to the kitchen first. Let's go left to right. This is the kitchen. It's not anything that interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister User will take care of the kitchen duties, but everybody pitches in when needed. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? No, sister. I'm learning more about the convent's history, so I can finish a mural in town. Ah, I see. This kitchen has been used for decades. Longer than I'd be sure. I enjoy preparing meals to sisters that nourish us. I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister, usable, generously taken on this task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of St. Francis. All suffering to any living creatures is necessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems really simple. The only thing here from the convent's founding days, no more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Story, not this again. Not to Madeline, please. What makes you think you saw a spirit, sister? The figure rose up from the very ground we stand on of vigils not a fortnight ago. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries ago. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God, now that it rests on holy ground. I think it must have been something else, sister. It breaks my heart to think this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. But not too upset. Of course, God bless you, sister. God bless you, Madalena. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as Lord wills it. Odd fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. That's very noble of you. Just as Christ gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too he gave me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. I don't believe the Lord wants us to suffer, sister. No, child. He does not. Christ's death opened the door to an eternal life without pain. But as long as our souls are bound in this world, suffering will exist. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister. You are most welcome, child. Bless you. Most of them come in here but aren't allowed to enter. You aren't allowed to go into the outside world either, like Mother Francisca said. Isolation is a part of our vows. Sister Gudrun once told me the old Benedictine sisters to go out into town sometimes and even talk to men on occasion. I'm stuck here staring at these walls for the rest of my life. You didn't always want to be. Do you regret your choice to become a sister? Choice. I didn't have a choice. My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the poor clouds the summer I turned 17. So sorry, no one should be forced into a life they don't want. We daughters are born to bear our family's legacy. Between our legs or on our backs, it doesn't matter. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers, the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord. But this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. It's not so bad, is it? Maybe not for you. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margarita. At least they get to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Protected here from the plague and the prisoner rebels. It's a good life. I suppose. Doesn't seem like much I would have liked to see more of the world, even the bad. Thanks for listening. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Read on. Chapel. This is the chapel where we all gather for mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent and the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouch through the years, but has represented the abbey from the earliest days. Oh, there's a tower in the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a Bergfried long before the structure became a mercenary. Freestanding defensive tower, not built for permanent habitation. The duchy gifted to the Benedict order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tuscany from attacks of spirits and steel for generations. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kiersau's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick. The second is that? Only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the Abbey's founding date. The Lady Kiersau was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. But the Umata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kiersau was unique, a double monastery, with 2 saints, 1 male, 1 female, to guard the tower and the abbey. Fascinating to think that even before the Duke gifted the church, the fortification was founded by St. Moritz. The saints have a long history in these lands. Many things once lost are truly foundational to how we live. You're right, sister, this mirror will be a great reference for the rat house. I'm glad to have helped. God bless you. Then there was something else. My courtyard. Colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you. I think anything here that has not been covered in weeds. What I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. So Suzanne, God bless you. This ice is hard. Do I recognise you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice, yes. Udacina, Sister Benedicta, is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. Rather be inside where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent anyway? Mother Francisca said I could look around. Oh well, don't let me get in the way then. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I want to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than at home. I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I'd like to help the older sisters. I don't mind the chores someone is cold like this. One more question. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Just about Sister Marie's ghost. I think it's Mauritius myself. Oh no. So there is who? Mauritius. Don't tell me Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassi but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty and Christian refugees from the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. I wonder if this is a different retelling of a sort of same way as saving Tassing. Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius trying to get us out. A Roman ghost could be happier about the tower being turned into an abbey. What did you do with this book, sister? I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and then I accidentally let the firebreaker on out. I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Madalena. I suppose it's better the book got some use before I was lost further. Besides, that story gives me ideas for the rat house. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Sister Mother Francisca. God bless you, sister. God bless you. Convent Art Studio. This workshop is covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine sisters. This used to make badges and are for pilgrims come to see the hand of St. Moritz. Everything was just left here after the fire. Now it's been used in the air. We can't insist on painting, and the poor Clares don't produce goods to sell, so we have no reason to be in here. Bar allows us to find beauty in life. Even Christ said the Father clothed the lilies of the field in beauty. I agree, but that's not the rule of the poor Clares. Mother Francisca considers our temptation to hedonism. She doesn't let us come in here unless she wants to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Pink parts too. You think one of the sisters is secretly painting? Oh, Lord, no. We all live together in the convent, something like that to go unnoticed. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Madeleine, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you're here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you'll hate it here. There's some old parchment scrap here from the others. The scrap for a manuscript. There's something written in Latin here. It says the Mithrarium of Tassing had been destroyed by a flood. That's the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. This must be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why I would mention the Mysterium. I don't know. It's not a word I've ever heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. Well, this says the Mysterium was destroyed, so it's business matter much now. It's a valuable paint left to dry and crack on the pallets. All badges are very full. I hope the pilgrims who bought them love them. Well, you've seen the entire convent. There's not much here. What do you think of it? I can see why people choose the holy life, but it's not for me. Not without art. I understand. You're dedicated your whole life to your work. You'd struggle to give that up now. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I reminded the life of what I once had. Now you have me think about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. I think you should say. You have a wonderful life here with them, and you may even be abbess one day. My family chose to die for me, and I won't need to allow that. Maybe I could make the poor Clares a community where women feel safe from the perils of the outside world. Thanks, Madalena. Anyway, we should return to Mother Francesca before she suspects something. Thank you for showing me around the convent. No, thank you. Today has been more interesting than I can remember in the Abbey. Come, let's find Mother. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Here's a good law according to your life as sister. I'm compelled by the devoted life the sisters lead, but I'm afraid I must tend to my father first. Of course, I understand. Caring for your father is in itself a noble path. However, if your heart leads you back up the hill, the doors to the convent are always open to you. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendour of an old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. Thank you for allowing me inside. I'm frustrated there's so little left of the old Abbey and Saints. But sister, something I don't understand. The Abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it? What a task that would have been. The chapel was beautiful as stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Tessing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Tessing and moved on. In truth, the Abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Kiersau was running out of money and patrons. The riot and the fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but all are terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in the rubble. Doubt you find anything of help for the mirror on site other than charred wood and parchment. It might be worth taking a look if I'm careful. I worry after you sometimes, Madeleine. I really do. Thank you for your help, Sister Gertrude. You're always welcome, Madeleine. God bless you. Well, that was that. I don't know. I did learn more about the founding of Kiersau. The illustration from the manuscript, the mythorium, it was like that one in the mine. But the history Abbey of Tessing must be written down somewhere. Any library had it written down with everything in it. The ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. It's amazing. I wonder what it looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I had to be careful climbing over the rubble to get past. That would happen. No, I can't get back out there. If I climb, I might collapse further. I'll have to find another way out. nothing left of the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. If I just go all the way to the top though, they look stuck enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. You can see all testing from here. I wonder if I piece together the foundations of the Abbey and find a way to get to the library. If I could go down this way, the roof looks pretty stable. Oh god. I remember when the library burnt down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I've seen this place since then. It's not that there's anything left inside. I suppose it's too much to hope for. Well, Madeleine, how are you going to get out of here? These roses seem to have made the Abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing here. I can't go into the scriptorium or anything. Where's this? Oh, same thing. Where it came from. There's always this many cats at the Abbey. Perhaps I could ask Slave what he remembers during this time. The place is a mess. How sad. Door stuck. I can't get through this way. This is brand new. This is warm, but I can still see some of the figures. The dance of death. These figures look at you. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. You would add new figures to the dance of death, and why? This looks like a place. People from town, from here, people who died. That must be the Baron, and that's Otto. Wait, is that? Someone's here. Hello? Who are you? It's Andreas, an Abbey forgotten. Is that Andreas? Gaspar falling into the fire? That's Otto there. That's Otto. There. I don't know what this is. Is that the prior? Is that going to be the Baron? Door. If it's watching me, he must have opened it. I don't like this. I think I've seen everything left the Abbey and I want to get out of here. Snowing already. The Almanac said it should start for another week at least. I think we're in for a hard winter. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. Magdalene. Dr. Stoltz. Doing quicker with the mirror, eh? I hope that doesn't make you sloppy. Well, they've rigged the scaffolding sheet so enough air can flow through. That way the layers dry quickly. Ah, yes, how very clever of you. In any case, the council here wants to hear what you're doing. We're researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the Abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. And I'll paint St. Moritz, St. Satya, and Our Lady of the Labyrinth receiving the Christian settlers. These are the saints close to Tassing and Kiersau have been part of our history for generations. The saints are a central part of Tassing's identity and income. Honoring them makes the town look better than it actually is. Suppose it's worth something. You must always keep in mind that Murrow is not just for you, but for all of Tassing. Not good. At this section, there's still much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to betray the revolt. Sounds like I'll leave you to it then. Oh, Dr. Schultz, yes. Have you ever seen anyone looking around the Abbey? Or heard about it? I've been up to the Abbey in years, and no, I haven't heard of anything like that. Why? I've seen someone following me a few times. No, I don't know anything about it. No, there's nothing else. No, good night, Dr. Schultz. Good night, Madeline. Now, they only the final part of the mirror furnish. How should I paint the revolt? Dad always talked about how the Archdeacon was the only one seeking justice in those days. But what was his name? The unique name I remember, the name of the assassin who came to Tassing when the Baron was killed. Jacob Essler, when you wrote an account of the revolt as an Archdeacon. I'll write him and ask. And of course I need to write back to Esther too. I'll write them together tonight. Stop. She said that found. They're trying to scare me. If I don't stop, are they going to try and kill me next? I need to ask her dad about this. It can't be a coincidence. It's been so weak I don't want to upset him. Just need to wait for the right time. I hope there is a right time. You know, later the mural is more important. Right, where to begin? I'll write to the Archdeacon Jacob Essler and see if he can tell me about the revolt. I'll write a letter to Esther too. I hope the courier can make it through the passes before winter. So former Deacon of Phrasing. I'm an artist in the town of Tassing in Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rolfogel's murder in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that people in Tassing might not remember? Do you see any evidence that might suggest there's some sort of larger conspiracy at work? Thank you for any help you can give. Jack Roll. Dear Esther, I hope you are well. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Simon, and Alicia too, and of course your parents. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time the letter reaches you, I expect winter will have enfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I've reorganized the workshop so that the inks don't deteriorate. You don't have to worry about that in Prague. You said it snows, but I wondered it was warmer in the winter. Dad's condition is much worse and he's in much pain. Dr. Schultz has been, well, he's a useless asshole. I think God knows why he's such a bitter old man, but he's neglected Dad almost entirely. Some days he doesn't show up, and even if he does, he just stops instructions at me and rushes off. Just wish I understood why. I worry about my dad. I ask Agnes for help, but there's only much she can do alone. It's not going to make it. There's nothing I can do. Christ, I'm scared, Esther. The moral is progressing well, but I can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. I keep seeing this figure around town. After exploring the mines, see Tassing's early history, and then again in the Abbey ruins. No one in Tassing has seen anything, but some of the nuns say they've seen ghosts. The strangest thing gave me a fright a few times already. I found a strange note left on my bed, matching one I found on my dad after the attack. They both only read the word stop, like a warning, but stop what? The mural? Can't stop that now. What if the person following me is the one writing them? Why? What do they want? But I don't mean to worry you. Bad things happen to me, so I think I'll be safe. The only good news I can share at the moment is that the mural is almost finished. I should have completed it by Christmas or soon after, for the new year at least. Then perhaps at long last I should be able to visit you and meet this Simon. Anyway, I fear this will be my last letter of the year. The Reichspost has already been late and reported a rusting stove for the passes. We seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm and give my regards to your family and Simon. Yours always, Magda. I think I have to sleep. Go to sleep. It's just stuck around. Only one letter for you today. The past is now impossible to transverse, and the heavy snow is harder than the horse and me. Anybody happy, Evan, my dear? Thank you. The same to you. A reply from Jacob Estler. Mr. Duckerel, I do recall the Roval case, although it's been over a decade since I've served as Archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. I investigated several murders as Archdeacon, but none have taken the cursed spectre of conspiracy that haunted our Vogels. Of the peasants burned Kiersau, I read the reports suggesting the conspiracy was behind the murder of the town carpenter as well. It was around this time that I did some research of my own into the death of Father Gurnell's predecessor, Father Matthias. While no one suspected foul play at the time, I had reason to believe that his death may have been connected to the two other murders. If this is the case, a serpent has laid coiled in the bosom of your community for decades, and there may lay there still. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a you killing? I fear that the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbours. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke it into an old resting place. I hope this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Eslow. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to heavy snow. The postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. Better get to the rat house then. Still more work to be done. Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up on the mirror and now I can start the final piece today. I promise I'll get it done soon. I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. Sorry, Dr. Schultz said you can't come to the festivities tonight. Now you much love the Pishten loaf. There's always next year. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Schultz said he would come by again today. Fine, I'm fine. Maybe I should stay home with you today. No, if you want to work, you should work. It's alright. In fact, my spirits are left today. It's Christmas Eve after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? Like a note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they come from and who wrote them? Madeleine, Oh god, that must be Ott. He said he'd drop by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know, I will. But can we talk about it later? Not. I bet he dies before that happens. Go, take care of yourself out there. I'll go downstairs and see what it is. But I think I know of wrapping up. Hopefully it's just dots. Morning, Madeline. Morning, I told you Almanac was right, didn't I? The moon forecast a cold winter this year. You're fine, you were right. Good thing you paid attention to it too. Saved me a lot of trouble finishing work early. Here, I bought some firewood for you and your dad. Thank you, Watts. Oh, you're welcome. So, how's your dad? Do you think you can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I'll do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural, though. I'm working on the final section. About the Peasants' Revolt, it feels weird to talk about. It affected Tassing so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. So it makes it difficult. I need to ask those who were already adults that night, but don't want to touch raw nerves. Maybe you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas feasts. Clara sometimes talks about that night, Mum too. You might be able to ask them. Both Ev and Matilda are the only two Benedictines living in Tassing. Maybe they'll talk to me. Didn't think of that. Still, the mirrors for Tassing, not the old Abbey. Agnes has always been in Tassing, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Dad said he helped to bury anyone who died that night. I wonder if she'd talk about it. Draw a project. Might be worth a try. I write to the old Archdeacon about it. He thinks that the Baron's death and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. It doesn't matter. What if all the deaths in Tassing are connected? I think you're looking for connections that aren't there. Maybe this mural is getting to you. I need to get to the bottom of this, so there's something more to this, I know it. If you're sure, I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. See you later, Max. Says right, I should start talking to people around town. Better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the pumpkin laugh. Okay. And there is definitely where we're thinking we're going to call it a day. I think we've been going over 3 hours now. So, we're definitely entering the end times. I've received a note myself, so definitely got a target on me. Presumably, this person is going to try and kill me, and that will lead to the end events of the game. I want to say that maybe Andreas is still alive up at the Abbey, but he's like horribly burnt and he can't come out in public or doesn't want to. I'm surprised we haven't seen Caspar. I'm pretty sure I sent him away. Maybe I didn't. Maybe he did perish in the fire. But I'm pretty sure I sent him away. I don't recall seeing him there. But anyway, if you're enjoying this series and you want to keep updated, then please consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave any feedback or suggestions in the comment section below the video. And until next time, this is White Heart Gaming. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye, everybody.